What up, everybody? What up? Coming at you. We back in business. It's a new year. Happy 2015. I know it's been a minute since the last video, but I was trying to get some stuff together, and everything's coming along fine. But that's not what I'm here to talk about. Trying to get this episode, getting off the ground. But like I said, we back in business, and let's go on with the show. I'm gonna tell you about a time. I know every time I get ready to talk, I'll be like, "Yo, I got a true story." But yeah, this is another true story. But I'm gonna tell you about the time I learned a lesson in a traffic jam. So earlier this year, I want to say it was a couple months ago, I was on my way to work, and as I'm coming off the freeway, this traffic started slowing down. It actually came to a standstill, for a while, and man, I hate traffic jams. I really do. Especially when you don't know what's going on at the front, and I just assumed that it was just people being dumb. But traffic start slowly, and when I mean slowly, I mean at a snail's pace, start picking up, and I was able to see exactly what was going on. As I'm coming up off the freeway, cars are moving left and right, trying to get out of the way of. It was a car in the middle of the street, a big Buick Rendezvous actually, and it was stopped. It was stalled, and I saw a guy trying to push this huge Buick Rendezvous. Now, understand before I go any further, the Buick, if you've never seen a Buick Rendezvous before, it's a big SUV, okay? This guy was trying to push that mug by himself with no help. So I look and see what time it is, and I was actually early for work. I was about 30 minutes early for work, and my job was right down the street. So I said, dang, that dude needs some help. So I pulled over to the side. Actually, not even to the side. I just took up the right lane, and I turned on my hazards in the middle of the street, took my key out the car, got out and ran towards him, just trying to help him out because, like I said, he was pushing his car by himself and nobody was stopping to help. So I run towards him, and once I get to him, I said, "Hey, dude, you need some help?" And he's like, "Yeah, come on, come help me out." He said, "I'd appreciate it." That's what he said. He said, "I really appreciate it if you could." I said, "No problem." So we start pushing the car. That mug was heavy. Like, I've pushed cars before. I've pushed cars, out the snow. Cars done stalled out that I done helped push. But I don't think I've ever pushed a truck before. And this dog, we was using all our strength. We was getting it down the street, like slowly but surely. It's cars going around tooting their horns. Nobody really came by to help. I kept on looking down the street to make sure my car was okay. Because like I said, I stopped it in that right lane and just threw the hazards on to come help him. But dog, that mug was heavy. So while we pushing the car, I noticed that, it was a guy in the front seat at the steering wheel. So I asked the guy I'm helping push the car. We're conversing back and forth. And then I just asked him, I said, "Is this your peoples? Is this your grandfather, your uncle, whatever, And he looked at me and said, "I don't know this man." So he said, "I don't know this man." I'm thinking like, oh, you just helping him push the car too? And he said, "Yeah, I was walking down the street and I saw that his car was, stuck in the middle of traffic, and I didn't want him just sitting here." He said, "If it was one of my people, my grandfather or something sitting out here, I want somebody to help them push their car out the middle of the street." So I came by to help him. And I said, "Oh, okay, cool." I said, "I just assumed it was your family." I said, "Ain't no big deal." I said, "Let's just, push him out the street." So we trudging along. I'm at this point exhausted, sweating, just trying to get this car. We was gonna push it in this parking lot. It was a Metro PCS store, and he, the guy that was at the steering wheel, he said, "If you guys just get me up there, like I have somebody coming on the way, to come help me out." And I said, "Cool, no problem, we can do that." So, like I said, we just pushing down the street. Cars getting mad at us, tooting their horns, yelling. Well, not necessarily yelling, but they wasn't caring about us. We trying to push this man out the street, and they going by about their business, and nobody at all stopped and said, "You know what? Let me help them push this car." Like, they're obviously having problems pushing this huge truck out of the way. So we finally get the car to like the edge of the parking lot, and it was kind of sloped. It was inclined, so we had to push it up the incline just to get it into the parking lot. And man, we were having like the toughest time. Like we'd push it up there a little bit and it'd come back down, and no matter how hard we tried, we could not get it up this hill, up this incline at all. We could not get it up there. We were trying for at least a good minute or two trying to get it up there, and it was not working. So just when we were getting ready to say like, dude, you're gonna have to sit right here, because we couldn't do anything else, a homeless lady, is this homeless lady that used to stand on the corner every day when I used to go to this particular job at the time. I would see her all the time on the corner. She runs over there and she says, well, let me help you guys. So immediately the other guy, he's like, no, you don't have to do that. Don't worry about it. It's not your business, you know? And she said, no, let me help. So I'm gonna be honest, man. We was having a hard time pushing it. I wasn't about to turn on no help, you know, no matter where it came from, because I mean, she might have been a lady and everything, and it really didn't have anything to do with her, but it didn't have anything to do with us either. And like I said, I was about to turn on the help, so I'm like, hey, you trying to help? Most def, let's get it, you know? There you have the three of us. Neither one of us know each other. Neither one of us know this man that's in the car. And we're struggling to push this guy up this incline into this parking lot. And it took us a few tries, but we finally got him in there. So after we got him in there, I asked him, was he okay? I asked him, did he need a couple extra dollars to get anything? But he said, you know, his brother was on the way to come help him out. And I said, no problem. I said, you know, you be blessed, have a good day. And told the guy that helped me push him up there. He said, man, thanks, I appreciate that. I was like, man, you know, ain't no big deal. You know, I told the homeless lady, I said, you know, I appreciate your help too. And she says, no problem, you know, you guys have a good day. And she goes to stand back on her corner. I didn't mean it like that, guys. But the corner that she stands at, you know, at the light, she goes back to stand there and pretty much, you know, go about her business. At this point, I was exhausted from pushing this truck down the street. And, man, I was tired, man, like for real. But anyway, I was headed back to my car. I ran back to my car because I left my car with the hazard lights on in the middle of the traffic. So I jump in it and I start driving the same way that, you know, that we were pushing the guy's truck. And I noticed the homeless lady standing at the light. And it just really struck me at that point. I'm like, man, she didn't have to do that. When I mean she didn't have to help, I'm just thinking about all the people that she's probably seen on a daily. You know, she's holding up that sign asking like, will you help? Can you do this? X, Y, and Z. And the people that probably just go by and don't help her, don't give a second glance at her. And she saw two guys struggling pushing a truck into a parking lot and saw that we were having a problem getting it up there. And she came to help. And I just said, man, wow. Looked at the clock and I saw that I still had, you know, a lot of time before I did be to work. So I said, you know what, I'm about to go get her something to eat. So I rolled down the street. It was a Buddy's Pizza next to my job. And I went in there. I bought one of the combos where it come with a drink and a slice of pizza. Went ahead and got it for her and put it in my car and drove back down there and gave it to her. Yeah, when I approached her, I had parked my car in the Metro PCS parking lot because I didn't want to just drive by and hand it to her. So I parked my car in the Metro PCS parking lot and I walked across the street. Once the light, you know, turned green, I walked across the street and I gave her the pizza and I gave her the drink and I said, here, this is yours. And she's looked like she was getting ready to cry, you know? She says, oh, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. I said, no. I appreciate you. Like, you really just, you got me thinking over here. You didn't have to do what you just did. You didn't have to get up and come help people who bypass you every day and don't give you a second, you know, thought. I mean, I didn't say all of that to her, but that's what I was thinking. But what I did tell her was, I said, no, I appreciate you. It's okay. And I saw the tears in her eyes. And she just said, thank you so much. Because there's no telling when the last time she had a hot meal. I mean, I know it was just a slice of pizza, but there's no telling when the last time she had a hot meal. And I told her I loved her. I said, God bless you, and I love you. And she said, thank you so much. Thank you so much. So go back to my car and get ready to head to work. That's the end of that story, but I'm about to tell you what I learned out of that. Number one, the big thing. I guess the one thing that I overlooked at the time, but looking back at it, and I'm understanding it a whole lot better, like, the guy, or the original guy that was at the truck, you know, helping push this old man out the street, he said he was walking down the street and saw him and said, man, I should help this guy out. And that's what he did. On the other hand, you have me getting ready to head to work, coming off the freeway, and I'm seeing this happening, and I notice he's pushing this big SUV, and I'm like, this guy needs some help. So I stop my car to go help him. And then 3, you have this homeless woman who doesn't owe anybody anything, sees us struggling with the truck, and gets out, and we all, help this old man while he's steering, push his truck out of the way of traffic. Neither one of us knew each other. We didn't know anything about each other. We didn't know each other's backgrounds. We didn't know each other's situations. But at that point, it didn't matter. What I'm saying is, we each saw somebody in need of help. The guy that was walking down the street saw the old man in the truck needed help. I'm driving down the street. I see that this young man needs help pushing this old guy out of the street. And this homeless lady sees that we both need help pushing this guy out the street. And instead of us hashing out differences and ignoring each other, we came together to achieve an accomplishment. Like I said, regardless of race, religion, sexual identity, whatever you want to put, we saw each other were in need, and we decided whatever we were doing at that moment wasn't that important, and that we could stop and lend some time to somebody else who needed it to help make their day a little bit better. I just wonder, just based on that lesson that I learned at that moment, how much different the world would be if we will all do that with each other. I'm not trying to be deep. I'm not trying to be profound. I'm not trying to preach. I just want us to all take a minute and think about that. How much different the world would be if we actually, when we saw somebody in need, if we saw somebody that needs help, put our differences aside, stop trying to, analyze every situation. And once we see that somebody is in need of our help and we have the ability to help them, put our life on hold for a minute and go ahead and assist our brothers and our sisters. I said at the beginning, Happy New Year. And as we go into the new year, I guess I just wanted to start this off with a really, really positive message. And I want you guys to think about that. I know we get all wrapped up in our own lives and we think our lives are way more important than everything else that's going on. And it's easy. It's easy in today's society. It's easy in today's world to feel like that. Sometimes I feel like that, My life is way much more important than you. Ain't nobody gonna look out for me if I don't. But that's not always the case in somebody else's situation. Some people are desperately trying to look out for themselves and are failing. They can't. And they need your help. I'm not saying that you should just disregard your needs all the time. But if you have the chance, if you have the opportunity to give to somebody else, whether it be time, money, attention, service, whatever, do it. Like I said before, we didn't know each other. I didn't know that lady. I didn't know the guy in the truck. And I for doggone sure didn't know the guy that was walking down the street that started helping, the guy push the truck to begin with. And the thing that's really touching me about the whole story is this young homeless woman. I just can't fathom the heart that she had. I'll say the heart that she has. To have the mindset to come help people, like I said, who just watch her struggle every day and don't give her $1, don't give her a cent, don't buy her a meal, and go about their business. I'm gonna be honest, I don't know if I could have done it. I don't know if I could. If I was homeless and I saw this happening, I don't care. You know what I mean? These same people, like I said, pass you by every day, step over you, talk about you, say all kinds of crazy things, and don't even give you a second thought. But she had a big enough heart to come help some people in a situation that had nothing to do with her. And in turn, God blessed me to be able to bless her. It's just amazing how these things work sometimes. It just is. And I'm not saying give your time and service to people just so you get blessed by God, because I don't want you doing anything. I don't think that we as a people should do anything with the intent of being rewarded or with the intent of receiving something. But just do it because it's the right thing. Bottom line. What I'm trying to say is, a difference can be made, but it's not going to start. It's not going to happen unless we get up and make it happen. So, again, as this new year, gets kicked off, and as we go through all the various challenges and the different situations that this year is going to throw at us, I urge you not to get so wrapped up in yourself that you forget your brothers and your sisters that need your help also. the day, we all in this together. You know. Again, I'm not trying to preach, just trying to give a message. So with that being said, that'll conclude this installment, this New Year's installment, 2015, baby. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, that'll conclude this installment of Nothing But Real. I actually got a couple projects coming up. I'm gonna keep you guys informed on that, so be on the lookout. But until then, y'all be good. Peace.
I'm chilling like I was in 99 in the Kroger break room, flirting with them dimes even though it ain't